Adam Sandler continues his quest to be taken seriously as a dramatic actor. So much so that in this one he pairs with multiple Oscar nominee Carey Mulligan. Let's talk about Netflix's Spaceman. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the new Netflix film Spaceman. This is streaming right now and is the latest in the many year contract that Sandler has had with Netflix. And in addition to the silly comedies that he puts out, like the murder mystery movies, for example, with Jennifer Aniston, or some of the ones he produces with, his buddy David Spade starring, or what have you, he sprinkles in these dramatic films as well. Uncut Gems obviously opened up a whole new door for him. That was not a Netflix exclusive. That one did go to theaters through A24, but was eventually on Netflix. But a couple years ago, he had Hustle, which was another dramatic role. And now we have Spaceman, which is based on a popular book. We're going to talk about all of this here in just a moment. But first, let me welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video here. We do movie and TV reviews on the channel, and just about every day something new goes up. So there's a ton of stuff always to check out. So please consider subscribing, click that notification bell, click the like button, and comment below. All that stuff, of course, helps the channel out. And in the description of this video is the link to my socials as well, including my Letterboxd. That is a really awesome site where you can kind of track movies, you can rate them, you can make different lists, which I love doing all of those things. And I even keep a movie diary there where I put all of the movies that I see, and every day in 2024, I've been trying to see a movie a day. So always a lot to check out with that as well. But anyway, all right, so let's get back to Spaceman. This is based on the book Spaceman of Bohemia, and this is directed by Johan Renck, who I was unfamiliar with. This is actually only his second feature film. I've never heard of the first one, but he was a big part of the Chernobyl miniseries that HBO had a ton of awards for. It won a lot of Emmys and Golden Globes, I think, as well. And so he was a part of the Chernobyl series. But this movie follows an astronaut played by Adam Sandler, named Jakob. These guys are Czechs. And him and his wife, Lenka, who's played by Carey Mulligan, back on Earth here. But basically, he is sent on a mission to the edge of the solar system. And about 6 months in, he is really doubting if he made the right decision to even go, and what's going to happen to his marriage when he gets back to Earth. So he encounters a creature that helps him put his problems back together. And you have Paul Dano here as that helper, the extraterrestrial spider named Hanus. And he does the voice there. I love Paul Dano in so many things. And this movie also features performances by Isabella Rossellini, Kunal Nayyar, and Lena Olin. And that's really about it. I mean, this is not a big cast other than these six. Maybe a few other people have like one or two lines, but I can't even think of that. It's mostly really just this main core group of people. But largely it's Sandler either by himself or with Paul Dano on the ship. So look, this movie is the worst of the dramatic performances I've seen of Sandler yet. He seems so like out of place in this movie, so lost. His accent is terrible. And it doesn't quite know what it wants to be, because it leans a little bit over to the comedy realm, not though in like the slapsticky, Adam Sandler type of way. Like, it's not the Ridiculous Six here, but their attempts at comedy fall really flat, because I think Sandler doesn't know like how he's supposed to be comedic as this character. If it were me up there, sure, I would maybe be, cracking jokes a little bit. My sense of humor has gotten me through, a lot of hard times in my life. And so, sure, this guy's lonely and just trying to, keep his sanity together. So maybe he'll, make a little comment or whatever. But Sandler doesn't seem comfortable even doing that as this character, because I think he wants to be taken so seriously as an actor. And look, in Uncut Gems, he was excellent. Hustle, I think, is a worse movie than Uncut Gems, but I think he was really good in that as well. So he's got those chops, but I'm not sure what was going on with the accent. I know they wanted to make these characters Czechoslovakian like they were in the book. I get it. But for me, that part didn't work. But really, the movie on the whole does not work. Like I said, it was directed by Johan Rank. And the screenplay by Colby Day. And I think this movie wants to be super smart and say a lot of things about, existentialism and, the fear of being alone. And, are we, are we just a small cog in this big machine, and all of these things. And it just never quite connects. And then you have sort of the marital stuff with him and Carrie Mulligan, and she's not really even in this movie all that much, but we see her a bit on video screens and stuff, and then we have some flashbacks and whatnot. But and look, I love Carrie Mulligan. I sang her praises during my Maestro review. I've been a fan of hers for a long, long time. This is, from what I have seen, maybe I haven't seen all of her movies, but this is the worst movie I think that she has been in. And it's really a shame because they just didn't give her much to do. Like, anybody could have played her role. Like, felt kind of bad for her because I'm like, she's not even giving us the normal Carrie Mulligan, like 100%, because I think she as well was just kind of like, okay, I'm not sure what my character is thinking. This seems like it might play out better in the book, where you can really kind of dive into the psyche a little bit more of these characters, perhaps. I don't know. But that juxtaposed with sort of the whole existential nature of what they were trying to do on the other end of this movie, it didn't connect for me. And then the last like 20-25 minutes is really interesting visually. In fact, I will say one of the very few positives of the movie is it pretty interesting visually all the way through. But when we're confined, to one space, it's, there's not as much you can do with that with space. But the last 20 minutes, whatever, it gets really, really kind of esoteric, and we're looking at some really interesting visuals about existence and all of that. Again, I think it's trying a little too hard to be smart, and it didn't quite come off the way that I think it wanted to, but I will give it a small point for that. But point being, you're watching this, kind of cool stuff visually towards the end of the movie, but the build up to that was so kind of slow, and really wanted to be ahead of the viewer and all of this, and it did not work for me in so many ways. So like I said, for me, this is the worst of the Sandler dramatic performances, but I wanted to keep trying. I think he does have dramatic chops. We've seen it before, but I leave Spaceman with a D+. If you are interested in this, it is streaming now on Netflix, and that will do it. Thank you so much for watching Dan Reviews It. I'll see you next time. Bye.